He's serviceable right now while he builds up his arm strength to be an SP1 the second half of the season, guys. Okay? Go pick up Carmar. Go pick him up. Now, one more thing about the Central, I'm going to move on. Milwaukee. How about Christian Yelich? So, since last June 17th, that's 1 year and 1 day, Christian Yelich has a 3.44 average, a 4.32 OBP, and a 1.138 OPS. A 1.138 OPS. So, George, as hot as JBJ has been since May 20th, Mr. Yelich is going to see that and up you one at a 1.137 OPS, okay? He has 137 RBIs over that span, guys. That, to me, is about as impressive as it gets, okay? That is over time. That is sustained. And he's not getting many pitches because why would you pitch to him? Why would you pitch to him? Okay? Okay. So again, let's move on. Moving on. Let's go to the West. This is all but wrapped up. Okay? The West is all but wrapped up. The Dodgers, give it to them. Got to watch them play as they played the Cubs last week. And boy, they are a talented team. They're deep. They're versatile. They can pitch from the front of the rotation to the back of the bullpen. They're flexible. What more can you say about the Dodgers? They currently have a 10.5 game lead on the Rockies and the Cardinals. Okay? San Diego is at 13. Guys, I'm not going to talk about any of these guys. All I want to say to you guys, if you look at they're 28-8 at home. They've got 371 runs scored, and they've only which is not best in the division. It's actually third in the division, okay? It's less than Colorado, and it's less than Arizona. But you know what? There's a lot of runs. But I'll tell you what is best in the division, by a large margin, is the runs against. They have allowed 260 runs against. The next closest in the division is the Cardinals at 326. Okay? Guys, the Dodgers are just, it's the varsity versus the JV. And that's the only way I really can put it. Not to say that the Rockies and the Diamondbacks can't fight it out and fight for a wild card spot. They certainly can. But this is the Dodgers. This is the Dodgers division to take. Now, let's talk for a second, if you will. Let's talk about the Diamondbacks. Justin Upton last night returned and homered on the first pitch he saw. He went 2 for 4 with a homer, and everybody kind of writes him off. He doesn't really get a whole lot of notoriety. I don't know if it's because he's out west or what. But if you put together Justin Upton's worst numbers over the past 5 years, just tell me, would you live with this average? Would you live with this line? 246, 26 homers, 77 runs, 81 RBIs, and 8 stolen bases. That is his worst numbers over the last 5 years. I'll take that. So you're looking at putting him, sorry, I know he's not in Arizona anymore, but I'm going to finish this anyway. Kid, it's been a long day. I know he's in LA now, the Angels. But you put this and you put him in that lineup with Trout. You put him in that lineup with Ohtani. You put him in that lineup with LaStella and Fletcher. That's a formidable lineup, guys, okay? In 2018, Upton had 30 homers and 8 stolen bases. His barrel rate was the highest of his career and in the top 5% of the league, okay? His hard hit rate was in the top 8% of the league. Guys, Justin Upton's only 31 years old. So, maybe you can get him low. I mean, I don't know. He has this stigma about him, but he's been consistent. He's been real consistent. So, again, go pick up Jay Up. Go put in a bid for Upton. Why not? Okay? So let's talk about the American League, guys. Again, I'm doing the Central, so I'm going to skip around. I'm going to talk about the West real quick. Okay? In the West, again, it really, at the moment, appears this is sewn up. It appears to me, as I look for them, sorry. It appears to me, there it is, that Houston is a clear-cut AL West champion at 48-24. They've got a 9.5 game lead on Texas. That's right, Texas. And Oakland and LA right behind them. Guys, watch out for the Athletics. But Houston has this wrapped up. Don't discard. Texas is a good team, guys. Texas is much improved. They've scored 400 runs already. They've scored 23 more runs than the Houston Astros on the year, okay? Their pitching's letting them down. I say letting them down. They weren't supposed to be a good team, guys. So 366 runs they've allowed. Yeah, it's not great, but there's some serious upside there because we all know, I say it every week, the ball flies in Texas in the summer, okay? They've built this team with a lot of pop. You look at the guys in that lineup. You look at the Joey Gallos, the Nomar Mazars, the Rugi Odors. Look, here's the thing, okay? The Rangers, they're 12th in batting average and they're 3rd in runs in the majors. They're 3rd in runs in the majors. They score a lot of runs, okay? Yeah, Minor and Lynn, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Lance Lynn has quietly been an ace, though, okay? I know I say that, and I know his numbers. You're going to give me his numbers, and I'm going to have to refute them, but let me talk about it real quick, George, okay? In Lance Lynn's last 5 starts, he's got 44 strikeouts, okay? Now, he hasn't allowed more than 3 earned runs in his last 8 starts, and he's only walked 8 guys during those 8 starts. He has 66 strikeouts during that time. He has a 3.6% barrel rate against, which ranks him in the top 6% of the majors. So Lance Lynn, I know he struggled last year. We all know the Lance Lynn story. Lance Lynn's having a good year, guys. I know he had a couple bad outings early in the year, but that doesn't mean he's had, sample size, right? Let's look down. Let's look at smaller sample sizes and see where we can pick out trends. Right now, Lance Lynn is a trend that people are just looking at his numbers and they're thinking, he's no good. These numbers I just read to you are pretty damn good, right? So just keep that in mind. With Lance Lynn, there's a little bit more than meets the eye, okay? And you're right. So, just to finish my point, 66 Ks and 8 walks in his last 8 starts. Yes. You're absolutely, he's sneaky good. He's sneaky good, right? So, here's where Texas needs to improve, and I don't know that they're capable of it. 23rd in the majors with a 4.89 ERA. And 28th in the majors with a 1.46 ERA. They got the sticks, but they don't have the glove, okay? So, that said, I like Lance Lynn rest of season too, George. I like him a lot. He was a good pitcher at St. Louis. I think he got Minnesota. You look at what happened with them last year. I think there's a whole lot of bad mojo there. You look at Logan Morrison. You look at Lance Lynn. I just think it was one of those situations where no one was happy there. And it showed, right? Lance Lynn's never going to be your 1. He's never going to be your 2. He's probably never going to be your 3. But guess what? He could pitch up to those levels for short periods of time. Okay? He is a qualified major league pitcher. effective Major League pitcher, and you should treat him as such, okay? He will keep Texas in games, and with the runs that they score, he will keep them in games enough that he will win more than his fair share. Highly suggest to Lance Lynn, okay? And he's a 2-starter this week, okay? Anyway, moving on. The team you got to watch out for out west in my opinion, is the Athletics, okay? So if you look at the statistics, 18th with a 246 batting average, and 14th with 360 runs. Guys, I feel like those numbers are going to get better. I honestly, I truly believe you got Chris Davis hitting now. You got Matt Chapman's going to pick it up. Olson's starting to get back to health. Ramon Laureano is one of the best kept secrets in baseball. Okay, Semien, Profar, like Arnie said, you got Jorge Mateo in the wings. Now here's the thing, though. Their pitching's actually been halfway decent. They're 11th in ERA with a 4.29, and they're 10th in WHIP with a 1.30. Okay, not bad. But here's the kicker, and Arnie talked about this too. You got two guys coming up who's going to give you a pretty big boost. Actually, three guys that's going to give you a pretty big boost. Okay. Everybody talks about Jesus Luzardo. They should be. Jesus Luzardo is their starting pitcher one for the Oakland Athletics the second half of the year on. He's the best pitcher they have. I look for him to put up Chris Paddock-type numbers at the beginning of the year. He's got 3 solid pitches. He's up around 97, 98 as a left-handed pitcher. Good control and command. Guys, he moved his rehab up to AAA. Don't be surprised if Jesus Luzardo is in the major leagues by middle July. Okay, and pitching and leverage, he will automatically come in and command that you treat him as an ace. Okay, so the other piece to that, and he's probably not quite there yet, but AJ Puck is someone who is going to play a big part, I believe, in the Oakland Athletics playoff stretch. If this kid, both of them are rehab, and they moved Luzardo up to AAA. I think Puck is still at single A, but I think he's a little bit farther behind. They're probably going to use him predominantly out of the bullpen this year. He's just coming back from Tommy John surgery, so they're going to want to treat him with child gloves. But the fact of the matter is, this guy is an ace. Him and Luzardo are going to be the 1-2 in Oakland for the next decade. Okay, if you can get a piece of either of those guys, you absolutely should. We all know about Frankie Montas as a 3. Here's another guy coming back. He's starting to rehab. Sean Manaea. Sean Manaea, guys, we all know. You look at that rotation, and you put those 4 guys in that rotation, all of a sudden that makes Oakland really formidable from a defensive pitching perspective for the second half of this season. So look for those numbers to go up, okay? And then, of course, the cream of the crop out west to wrap up the overview is Houston. And really, if you think about it and you look at it, Houston is the cream of the crop all the way around. They're doing what they're doing. They're injury-riddled. They haven't missed a beat. They are 48-24. They're first in WHIP at a 1.08. They're fourth in ERA at a 3.59. Phenomenal numbers. Of course, you talk about guys like Cole, and you talk about some of those other guys in that rotation. It certainly speaks to the quality of the staff in Houston. But then you back it up with some of those offensive guys. They're third in batting average at 267, and they're ninth in runs at 327. Guys, Altuve's on the DL. Springer's on the DL. You put what they've brought up and infused into this lineup. Robinson Chirinos has been outstanding. Jordan Alvarez looks like a man-child. Reddick's been good. Marisnik's been good. I mean, right down the line, I'll tell you this much. Jordan Alvarez ain't going anywhere, folks. He's not going back down. He's not going to miss playing time. This guy's cemented in the lineup. They're going to give him his opportunity. But think about that lineup when you bring back